Episode 5 of Yellowstone's Season 5 introduced us to branding season, the most wonderful time of the year when spring visits Montana and we watch them right away up to the mountains. Before that, a family dinner turns intense thanks to Beth and Summer's brawl. Well, the Dutton family is known to have no dull moments, only drama. In this video, we'll be entering the family ranch and asking questions everyone has after watching the latest episode. First of all, will Beth become less violent if she's yelling at Summer? After the episode, we learned how the Dutton daughter doesn't back down from fights. She's always looking for one. We think she needs to grow up and stop starting physical fights with anyone. Smacking and punching people is the way of living by law in Taylor Sheridan's prequels, but it isn't the case in this neo-Western drama show. Beth should focus on steering clear of trouble, as it can seriously harm her father, aka Governor of Montana, by drawing attention to his weird maneuvers. If she wants to continue to annoy Jamie, she can pull his eyes out, since that's probably what will relieve her. Because we want her to remain stable and hold her urges for at least 1 week of John's governorship. Next up, what about her fling with Rowdy? The episode began with a flashback to Beth and Rip's teenage years. Just like in the first episode of the fresh season, she woke up from the dream, which was technically a memory. We know Jamie is the main reason behind his sister's recent outrage, as she's trying to untangle some knots which are tying her back to her past with Rip and Rowdy. We're spending lots of time with her in flashback mode, but we still don't know the full story about what went down with the trio. The flashback showed an awkward situation where the wild character Rip, Rowdy, and the ranch operator are going into the mountains. What's awkward is that she hooked up with Rowdy, and it's making her feel guilty to this day, since she started blabbing about it to Rip just after waking up from her sleep. But considering her traumatic past, especially her teen years, can we expect Yellowstone writers to pull off a twist about Rowdy? Something shocking would also be enough to allow Beth to return to her past every night with regret. Nobody has even praised the cowboy in the previous season, so obviously we're expecting a spicy twist behind it. Until then, viewers can expect more flashback scenes and more sleepless nights for Kelly Riley's character, because back then, she lost a potential relationship with Rip just because of silly feelings. Coming up, what was Clara's motive? The assistant to Montana's governor seems a little too suspicious. You see, everyone who's a part of John's squad had to undergo strict scrutiny, but what about this girl? Yellowstone watchers have noticed that she really popped up out of nowhere and has been assisting him out of duty too. She's getting way too close to his personal life and household, so it seems like she's more than an assistant. There's something behind her eyes, and she's good at hiding it. We know the ranch is a majestic space, but we do think there are some secret motives behind it. In the episode in which John is celebrating the branding occasion and he's tasked Clara to schedule his meetings at his house, he even ordered her to invite the press to the branding because he wants the state of Montana to know what his family is all about. And as we can see, Clara proves to be no stranger to cowboy stuff. "I was born in Miles City," she tells John, but she'll dutifully carry the governor's satellite phone in her saddlebag. Not to mention, should we worry about how happy Rip looks lately? He's been smiling a lot lately, and it's seriously concerning. While his wife is getting triggered by the trauma of her past, the husband looks to be doing pretty well in Season 5 so far. He's the one who can bring out Beth's soft side when things are going downhill for her, and since he's a married man, he's just gushing over his wife as the day is long. The couple has their ups and downs, but still, he's ready to give up his peace and keep her happy. We've seen them make up in seconds after she has another breakdown. Now, they're so close that he knows what she wants, but still, his constantly cheerful face is freaking us out. After all, he's the man who takes people on a fun ride to the mysterious train station. But still, if he learns about her traumas, his mental health might tumble, or it could be something much worse like his death. Since he's the only non-Dutton bloodline, he's being labeled as a victim. The bearded killer has survived 4 seasons and even tied the knot with the Dutton daughter, but that just kind of makes him even more unnecessary. Coming up, when will things not blow up for poor Jamie? This guy finds nothing but misfortunes. By the finale, hitting rock bottom should be replaced with hitting Jamie Dutton, since the guy has bad luck. Everything has ended up terribly for him, and with this episode, we found John telling Rip the night before the branding, "I got one child I miss, one child I pity, and one I regret." He just seriously established where Jamie stands for him within the family. He's the child he regrets. We think the Dutton patriarch regrets adopting the boy and raising him as his own. What's more, we also find him telling his assistant Clara in the same episode that he only has one son. He's not even counting the poor guy among amongst his sons. We guess we're going to see the unwanted son give in to his poor professional judgment at his workplace with Sarah Atwood, the corporate shark. But who is she? The girl is ready to give in to his desires. The episode also saw him making it clear to her that their recent bathroom tryst was nothing but a careless mistake. Clearly, she's kind of a mess too, since she doesn't take it too seriously. So how terrible will things be for him moving forward? Will he unintentionally end up giving Sarah just what she wants to mess with him? They both are playing a game that won't end in his favor, even if he's believing it will, because he's Jamie, and nothing won't ever work out for him. Wrapping it up, how the two-night stay could go wrong. The sneak peek into the next episode has a sinister vibe to it. With everyone away from the ranch and on a risky journey up the mountains, something bad could happen to the ranch. We're not expecting characters to go down to the train station because the preview doesn't show anything so dramatic, except for a medical evacuation chopper prominently shown in the teaser clip. The trip to the mountains is dangerous, but it seems like things will go south when the cowboys return to the ranch. With John wanting to pull the curtains and show Montana how the Dutton family lives, this episode is setting the stage for mayhem and tragedy for the 6th episode, titled Cigarettes, Whiskey, a Meadow, and Fog. There are 2 more episodes left for the 5th season, but don't worry, the Yellowstone family story won't be gone too long, since 1923 is debuting on Paramount Plus on December 18th. Yellowstone is currently rolling out episodes every Sunday on Paramount Network and its app at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Moving on, here are all the details about Beth's latest fight. Before departing for the branding, aka the most wonderful time of the year, John calls for a family dinner, which obviously turns out to be not so dull. After all, it's the dysfunctional Dutton family sitting at a dinner table together. There's supposed to be drama. Inside the dining room, we see the Duttons, including Casey and his family, Carter, Rip, and the patriarch's assistant, Clara. John's fling Summer was also in attendance, under house or ranch arrest, and Beth was ready to deal with the woman by abusing substances. So she prepared for the tough night by downing 2 large glasses of vodka and smoking cigarettes, which didn't help. At first, she turned to ignore John's instructions of playing nice at the dinner table, but she called Summer a hooker before they even ate the first course. Next, she decided to start a game of spikes with the animal activist over a platter of meat, ironically a dove, a bird that symbolizes peace. The woman was struck in horror and had nothing to eat. Their mutual beef peaked during the dinner, and Beth tricked her vegan nemesis into the front yard where they began a fist fight. Finally, did they resolve their beef? They exchanged heated words in the front yard and also a few punches until Summer cooled off. A Rip stepped in between the activist and his wife and asked them to continue until one of them had had enough. Eventually, the vegan won the fight, and the women returned to the dining room, not with love, but with an agreement that they'll respect each other's opinion. Her father was more concerned about Summer's bloody and bruised condition, but Beth spat out a tooth while munching on mashed potatoes mixed with blood. And that's a wrap for this video. What can happen in the next episode? Will Beth finally get over her rage with Jamie, and will she finally resolve the emotional scars of her past? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.